Hi, Q. Thanks for coming to your coaching session today. Appreciate you being here on time. Today I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about providing an emotional response to our customers. How's that sound?
Okay, good.
Great. Q, I just wanted to start out by saying you are doing such a fantastic job of doing a visual audit. You're conducting it, you're going through it, you're looking, you have the minutes up. I mean, you're catching what people need to know in order for you to provide those solutions, which you are. I see that you're providing tons of great right-fitting solutions, and you alone, by just doing this, you're helping us bring them and keep them, creating that better experience. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So today, around that providing emotional response, what I've identified is that you're not providing an emotional response on your calls, and as a result of that, I've seen your concern driver, it's actually been dropping, and your IOCR has been climbing because our customers are actually calling back because they don't really feel like they're being heard. Were you aware of that?
No, I thought I was given a response.
Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that you feel like that you have been giving a response. On these particular calls that I have listened to, I'm not hearing you actually provide that response. Do you think there's a reason why on some calls you might be doing it and some calls you're not doing it?
No, because I thought I was doing them pretty consistently, so I'm not sure which calls they were where I wasn't doing.
Okay, well, let's do a little bit of a role play here just so I can kind of analyze what you might be feeling that emotional response is.
Okay.
So I'll be your customer, and you've already went through the verification, and now we're getting into the meat of the issue, and I tell you, hey, Q, thanks for taking my call. Listen, I dropped my phone in some water, and I'm not even able to call my son. I'm kind of frustrated about that.
Well, I can help you out with that.
Okay.
Just pull up your account, let's get started.
Excellent. So, great. Letting them know that you heard them and assurance of help statement, that's fantastic. What I didn't hear in that is providing that emotional response. And so it sounds like maybe you feel like that reassurance or that assurance statement is an emotional response. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I thought that was just letting them know I was able to help them was what they needed to hear.
Okay. Yeah, and they do need help that. And what I definitely hear you that consistently on your calls. So thank you for being consistent with that. Our customers definitely need to hear that. Providing an emotional response, here's the thing with it is that I heard you used to do this. This isn't something that just came up, and you've been on my team for about 6 months now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that you know what an emotional response sounds like in the verbiage that we've talked about. And so it sounds like you've kind of fallen back, and now you feel like just providing that assurance of help is all that it takes now. Can you help me understand where that shift came from?
Well, there's a big push of CRT, so I got to make sure that I get off the call pretty quickly. So I figured if I let them know that I was happy to help them, then that covers everything, and they know I'll be there.
Yeah, you should, definitely. And it seems like there's always different things to work on, right? And I can hear what you're saying with that. And with your CRT, I know that that's been a big focus for you to get that down, not only because of the CRT itself, but also that's helping you position yourself for that MCIP, which we're talking about as well. Here's the thing with providing an emotional response, is our customers are actually saying their issue over and over and over again because we're actually not providing that emotional response. And so with that, it's actually not decreasing your CRT to not provide that emotional response, it's actually increasing it because our customers keep having to repeat themselves. So now you've got that increased CRT, your concern driver is dropping, and your IOCR is up. So that's definitely moving you away from that goal for the MCIP. And as far as your stats go, I know that you've also talked to me about getting off this night team. You want to get with the kids. I know that you want to spend more time with them, and I want to help you get there. And what I've identified is by you providing this emotional response, you're knocking out 3 things just by doing that. Are you aware of that?
I didn't think about it that way before, that it was maybe making my calls longer, but now that I think about it, I do remember a few calls where the customers repeated themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's coming up and it's hurting you. And I know you're a professional. I know that you strive for excellence, and that's why I knew this conversation would be easy with us today. It was just kind of figuring out exactly what it was. So what I'm hearing you say is the reason why you weren't providing this emotional response is because you felt like it was increasing your CRT and you just wanted to go ahead and get off the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say there's anything else that was hindering you from providing that emotional response?
No. I was just trying to get through my calls fast.
Okay, so just trying to get through those calls faster. So again, it was just because you wanted to go ahead and make sure that you were getting off your phone calls as fast as possible so that you could decrease that CRT. All right. right, so now that we've come to that understanding together here that it's actually going to help your CRT and not hinder your CRT, what's going to be different going forward on your phone calls now that you have that better understanding?
I think I'll just make sure that I provide the response by acknowledging or empathizing, and then let them know I can help them.
Okay.
I'm responsible for repeating so much.
And so let's just go ahead and do another role play here just to make sure that we're both on the same page. So a different scenario, I call in and I say, hey, Q, I'll tell you, I thought I was going to be able to make or pay this bill, but I was supposed to be getting a check, but I think it got lost in the mail, and I'm not going to be able to make this payment this week.
Well, waiting for a check in the mail can be very difficult, and we certainly want to make sure your phone stays on so that way you can track down where that check is. We'll be happy to help you and see what options we can use to keep your phone on.
Excellent. Very well. Like I said, I have full confidence in you. I know that this is something you'd be able to do. So thank you for showing me that I was on track with that. So whenever our customers provide an emotional response, what if they provide an issue in the middle of the call?
We still want to make sure I recognize it or acknowledge it so that way they know I'm still listening.
Okay. And when you say acknowledge, would you say that the acknowledgement for the assurance of help or the acknowledgement with providing an emotional response?
If it's a different issue, then definitely acknowledge it with an emotional response.
Okay.
So it depends on what they say.
Okay. So if they just kind of bring it up in conversation, the same issue they talked about, I can understand why you wouldn't necessarily have to go through that again. Let's say that they did bring up the issue, would you just ignore that?
No. Because then they might repeat it again and then we're back where we started.
Exactly. So catching that in some aspects. So going forward on your calls, then what I'm hearing you say is every time your customers bring up an issue, you'll meet them where they're at with providing an emotional response.
Yes.
Okay. And when will you be able to start that?
I can start it when my calls out. Start it.
All right. And when you say now, is that when you go back, or is that what exactly is that?
When I get back on the phone today.
Okay. And how long can we expect you to continue to provide this emotional response?
I'll keep doing it
All
on my
right.
calls.
So indefinitely, that's good. That's good. I know that we fell away from it before. I wanted to make sure there was nothing that you might see coming forward that might cause you not to. Excellent. So when you go forward, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to follow up with you after lunch. You've got a couple hours here before lunch, so I'll listen to your calls. And then I'll also have our seniors sit with you a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll provide you some feedback later here today. And also, at the end of our next week, rather, I'll set up another one-on-one and we can discuss it together. And I can show you exactly how it's helping in all three of those areas that we discussed there together. And in your own words, can you go ahead and recap for me what it is that you'll be doing?
My calls, when the customer provides me their specific issue, I will provide an emotional response before I assure them I can help them, that they're not repeating. This is going to help my CRT go down because the customer's not repeating, and it's going to help lower my ILCR because they're not calling back due to not feeling that I was able to help them.
That's right, absolutely. And when are you going to be able to start that?
Immediately.
Immediately. All right, thank you very much, Q. I'll tell you, I know without a doubt in my mind that you're going to be going to run with this. You're like the running back at T-Mobile. I give you something, you run with it. You do a phenomenal job. This is just one of those things. And I'll tell you, I know that it's just going to be really soon from now that we're going to be able to look at this and we're going to be able to look at some shifts and see what we can do to get you helped out once we get those numbers where they need to be at the top of that ranking. So,
Cool.
thank you. I appreciate who you are.
No problem. Thank you.